The video you're about to watch today is about Sam Allardyce, who I believe, Seb, is your favourite football manager.
No, not entirely. But he's been very successful. He has built a very proud record of avoiding relegation. And the video is all about the mechanics behind that and how he's used a formula to be successful over multiple decades now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, the basis of today's video is to explain that he's never been relegated from the Premier League. I mean, that looks a little challenging at the moment with his West Brom team. But today, Alex Stewart talks through his blueprint, essentially, for how he avoids that, doesn't he?
He sure does. And there's a reason why we put this video out now, because obviously, as you say, record under threat. So press go on the video, watch it. Try not to factor too much into the West Brom situation or to derive too much from it, and look at the record over the years.
Seb, you know they've already pressed go on the video, right? Because they're watching it right now. But if you're confused about this open, the reason is because we are currently chatting on stereo. We're going to talk more about that at the end of the video. But just to let you know, this coming weekend on Saturday, the 27th, we'll be chatting after the Brighton-West Brom game around, I suppose, 5 p.m. on Saturday. So if you want to join us there, please do. There'll be a link in the description of today's video, and we'll be doing some more events too. So come and listen to the Tifo gang chatting about football. But for now, enjoy the rest of the video. And thanks to Stereo for sponsoring us today.
Sam Allardyce has never been relegated from the Premier League. He's been parachuted into Premier League clubs in the bottom four on 4 occasions, and each time he's dragged them clear of danger. So, if a team needs to achieve top-flight safety against all the odds, Allardyce has proven himself to be the man for the job. But how does he do it? Well, it begins with a survival blueprint. And helpfully, Allardyce explained this to Sky Sports' Monday Night Football show in September 2017. His blueprint sets out 7 key points that show his focus and the tactical areas he expects his teams to concentrate on. These are: 1. Keep clean sheets. 2. Don't give away the ball in your half. 3. Play the first pass forwards. 4. Win the second ball on knockdowns and in transition. 5. Set pieces are key both defensively and offensively. 6. Exploit the opposition's weaknesses. And 7. Final third quality. They're simple principles, but that's the point. Allardyce brings his team's play back to fundamentals. Teams in trouble are usually defensively flawed and lacking confidence. Allardyce's straightforward approach is to address the first to build the second. So let's dig into what they all mean. In a low-scoring game, not conceding always gives a team a chance to turn 1 point into 3. Struggling teams often find scoring hard too. Concede a goal and you need a minimum of 2 to win. Upon joining a new club, one of Allardyce's first tasks is to analyse videos of defensive shape and the errors that have led to goals and then correct them on the training pitch. Take West Brom as an example. Before Allardyce joined, the fullbacks were regularly sucked forwards out of position once the midfield line was passed. In turn, this dragged a centre-back wide or left space in front of the centre-backs as a central midfielder moved across to cover. West Brom's shape often became ragged as players were pulled around trying to cover one another. Allardyce has implemented a more disciplined defensive shape of 2 sitting midfielders who try to avoid pulling wide. The centre-backs stay narrower and, crucially, the full-backs only go forwards if the wide attacker in front of them receives the ball. This keeps West Brom more compact, harder to play through, and importantly, typically with many more bodies between the shooter and the goal. Teams are often vulnerable after having won back the ball in the defensive third. The fullbacks may be looking to push up, with the effect of leaving space behind. Midfielders are facing their own goal to offer a passing option and may be unaware of what's behind them. This is why counter-pressing works. And losing the ball in these situations can leave the centre-backs exposed and outnumbered, so a safety-first approach is important. If in doubt, kick it out, as the old adage goes, or preferably long. Then you can regroup, reorganise and, crucially, prevent turnovers close to the goal when the team is out of position, which in turn leads to the next key point, playing the first pass forwards. Allardyce is a firm believer in efficiency, recognising that struggling sides may only get a few opportunities per game. Playing out from the back might work for teams equipped with technical players, but firstly, Allardyce rarely inherits many of those, and secondly, such an approach also gives the opposition a chance to press or regroup. So playing forwards is safer and often more suitable, and maximises the chance of getting the ball into a dangerous area quickly. Allardyce's Crystal Palace in particular could be devastatingly vertical, using the passing from deep central midfield of Yohan Cabaye and quick runners like Wilfried Zaha. Coupled with playing forwards is an emphasis on winning the second ball. Using a big centre forward like Christian Benteke or Andy Carroll means that forward passes have a target, but those players also need to be surrounded by mobile players like Zaha or Townsend, or more subtle Kevin Nolan types, who can infiltrate the space vacated by defenders drawn to the aerial duel. Sami Ajayi is West Brom's main long passer by volume after keeper Sam Johnston. His two types of long pass are either to hit far-side crossfield balls to a winger who can drag the fullback wide, leaving space in the channel, or near-side longer passes chipped into the space between the centre-back and fullback for the wide attacker or striker to chase. Both of these are designed to create opportunities to win the second ball, either by recovering it from an opposition clearance or winning the aerial duel, and both create space for players in front of the opposition defence to run onto. Allardyce emphasises making these runs, gambling on an opportunity presenting itself. And that's because it also puts the opposition under pressure and increases the chances of capitalising on a mistake. The first goal of Palace's 4-0 defeat of Hull, the game that kept them up on the final day, came from two headers forwards, then a looped long pass into the channel. It was headed back by a Hull defender, but his teammate swung at and missed the ball, allowing Zaha to pick it up and run through. Playing forwards and winning the second ball, a perfect Allardyce goal. Long balls and passes can also force clearances that win throw-ins or corners for the team, effectively winning the second ball by achieving a set piece. And that's important because Allardyce has long been a believer in the efficiency of set pieces for chance and goal generation. When he kept Sunderland up in 2016, they scored more set-piece goals than any other side and also conceded fewer. Teams who maximise these opportunities can score as much as a third of their goals from set-piece situations. And from his time at Bolton onwards, Allardyce has practiced set pieces extensively and recruited both excellent set piece takers and big, reliable targets. A lot of Allardyce's corners also look similar, in swinging where possible, with two players stationed just inside the edge of the area for second balls. One player marks the keeper, with distraction runs away from the centre of the goal past the near post, clearing space for 2 or 3 big runners towards the goal. At West Brom, Allardyce has also been making use of short corners, which yielded success against Liverpool as the defence pushed forwards but didn't stay marking their men, which left Ajayi free to run past Mane and get the jump on Fabinho. After his West Brom beat Wolverhampton Wanderers in early 2021, Allardyce said, "Wolves have been struggling with set plays, and we pointed that out to the players before the game. The advantage of a long throw is as good as a corner." In the match, West Brom had scored from a long throw, a great example of Allardyce's intent to exploit opposition weaknesses. And this can lead to tactical tweaks. In a famous 3-0 win away at Spurs, Allardyce's West Ham fielded no orthodox striker. He stated after the game that he felt Spurs defenders and midfield struggled to cope with late runners, but were fine marking traditional centre forwards, so chose to start the more mobile Ricardo Vazte instead. Struggling teams don't get many chances, and that's why Allardyce's final point is so important. The quality of the final pass, the cross, and the finish. This all counts when you may only get 2 or 3 opportunities per match. And his transfer policy reflects this. For every Jan Kirchhoff, there's a Wabi Khazri. He likes to sign good crossers of the ball too. Matt Jarvis, Stewart Downing, Aaron Cresswell, especially if they can deliver from set pieces as well. And here's what a classic Allardyce team looks like. There's an aerially adept striker, ideally one who can offer a bit defensively too, good crossers out wide playing on their opposite sides, who should also be able to get forwards on the break, deep-sitting midfielders, one of whom should be able to play long passes into threatening areas, and big, solid centre-backs, again one of whom is ideally a passer. Allardyce's blueprint is clear, and so far, it's been proven time and time again to be effective. Today's video is sponsored by Stereo, the premier live broadcast social platform that enables people to have and discover real conversations in real time. And the Tifo team has recently held 2 live events after midweek Champions League games to discuss the results and answer live questions from listeners. And you can join us on Stereo at 5 p.m. GMT on Saturday the 27th of February for a live conversation with myself and Tifo's Seb Stafford-Bloor. Ask us any questions you like and we'll do our best to answer. And beyond our appearances, Stereo is actually a really fantastic app. The interactive listening setup is a brilliant feature. You can record yourself asking a question whilst listening, and the hosts can choose to play that question live on the stream and answer it. There's all sorts of different conversations on a range of different topics, and if you're anything like us, once you're finished with the Tifo chat, you'll spend ages listening to the other fantastic conversations. Thanks for watching today's video.